Space Channel 5 is a rhythm game created by United Game Arts and published by Set in the retro future year of 2499, the game centres around the funky news reporter, Ulala, and her mission to stop an alien invasion while delivering the hot scoop to the viewers at home.
Stay tuned!
If only the news was this interesting.
Left! Right! Left! Shoot! Down!
The game was released in 1999 for the Sega Dreamcast and was quite a success for the time. The franchise has also made appearances in other titles, like All-Stars Racing, All-Stars Tennis, Samba de Amigo, Virtua Fighter 5, Project X Zone 1 and 2, and Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. The game was even filed a lawsuit by D-Light vocalist Lady Miss Kia, who claimed that Ulala was a lookalike, an imitation, or emulation or rip-off of her entire
persona,
even claiming that Ulala's name is a rip-off of her catchphrase used in Groove of the Heart.
Ooh la 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 la.
I guess? There's some similarities. It's no more identical than Jesus to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm still waiting on the church to file that lawsuit on that beautiful man.
Hello there.
The court thankfully stated that Ulala was a transformative character and not theft of her entire
persona!
Lady Miss Kia ultimately lost the case and was liable to pay around $600,000 in attorney fees. Interestingly, in 2008, Sega bought the rights to use Groove of the Heart in another rhythm game, Samba de Amigo. Guess who they chose as the backup dancer for the track? I think the first time I knew about the series was in Sonic Riders, where Ulala was an unlockable character alongside fellow Sega guests, Knights and waaaaay. Being the toxic masculine 8-year-old little shit I was, I remember unlocking Ulala in the game thinking,
Why is Barbie in this game? I want to please her!
Before unironically selecting Cream the Rabbit. Let's be real, she's perhaps the most dangerous, horrifying character in that series. Fast forward a decade, and I get some YouTube recommendations on some old school Sega games, with many being about Space Channel 5. Remembering the character from Riders and All-Stars Racing, I was interested in what her original game was like, and so I watched these videos to learn more about them. Oh my god, this game looks amazing, I really need it. Thank you Darkspine Sonic for introducing me to this game. Luckily for me, I found part 2 of the game on Steam, and I was confused as to why part 1 wasn't on there either. I could only surmise that while the second game utilised actual 3D backgrounds, better graphics, frame rate, and an overall improved experience, the first Dreamcast game had the characters dance on pre-rendered moving backgrounds. While it was certainly interesting to see, the incredibly compressed details and occasional lag between the scenes must have made it very difficult to port. I don't know, that's just a guess. I'm pretty stupid. It is a shame that you can't play the first game via PC. I tried to download it as a PlayStation 2 emulated game, but the buttons take longer to respond than the bloody HP gauge in the Pokemon game.
Let's dance!
Many people consider part 2 of the series to be the superior game, and since the franchise focuses more on gameplay and rhythm, I wasn't really missing out on much either. With that said though, I shall make a few comparisons to the original title, to show how the second game improves from the first, as well as mentioning some very clever Easter eggs and attention to detail between the two. And with this introduction out of the way, let's dive straight into Spake Kahananel Five. The intro of the game gives us a brief reintroduction of some of the main characters from the first game, kicking it off with Ulala busting some groovy moves.
Such a cutie pie!
In this montage, we also meet Pudding, the just as sexy, but a bit of a bitch, rival reporter of Channel 42, Jaguar of the underground pirate broadcasting system, the voice of Truth, who was once a reporter for Space Channel 5, and was the one responsible for saving Ulala's life at a young age during a tragic spaceship accident, and Space Michael Jackson. Well, it was like back in those days before the present got very scary. The intro then shows snippets of the previous story, and how all these characters work together in ending the alien invasion and punishing the man behind it.
You'll regret this!
As the camera zooms out, we are shown an unfamiliar figure. The plot starts with Jaguar seemingly out on an investigation. The camera cuts to him turning around in shock, and then cutting to a weird action figure latex biker man with some flying dustbins. Okay. The unfamiliar group begin to launch an attack on a nearby cruise ship, the Space Symphony, and begin to round up all of the innocents on board.
Go, my robots! Show those humans how to boogie!
Now that's how you terrorize people. Imagine being forced to dance forever until someone comes and saves you. ISIS must be shitting themselves with the competition. That does not sound like a fun thing to do. This mysterious group then round up all of the dancing victims and begin trapping them in massive Pokeballs. Suddenly, a certain broadcasting ship arrives on scene and sends out the star reporter of everyone's favourite program,
Ulala Swing and Report Show!
Wow, how did the show stay so fresh?
It's at this point that Ulala has her first encounter with these mysterious musical terrorists. What the fuck is he doing? He begins to challenge the reporter to a dance battle, which leads us to the gameplay.
Do you like it or not? Dance battle! Get down!
In the same style as the first title, your opponents will call out a series of commands in time with the music, in which you must copy off to progress further into the report, using the directional buttons for your up, down, lefts and rights, and using the X button, or in Steam's case the S key, to fire your tension blasters whenever the enemy shouts,
Shoot! Shoot! Shoot!
In this starting section of the game, it also introduces a new command, in which the enemies will go, requiring the player to hold down the Chew button to charge before pressing the button again. For every section you complete, the rescue hostages join your show as backup dancers, mimicking Ulala's dance moves or complementing them via different ones. It's so outlandish yet fun and stylish to see these hostages turn to your side and bring the groove back at the enemy. During each section, you are given hearts that act as the health of the game. Getting commands wrong will deplete these hearts, and losing all of them will result in Ulala's failure at rescuing the hostages of that section, as well as not getting to see Ulala, a massive army of backup dancers, which is honestly very, very depressing to see. Each successful command will boost the view rating of your program, which acts as the score point system, while every failed command will make you lose viewers. The game categorizes these sections into 3 gameplay styles, with this section of the report focusing on dancing mode. Each button pressed makes Ulala perform different dance moves, in which they can come out in any order. The rhythm in this section is smooth and simple, which helps the player adjust to the game's core mechanics and understand the controls. But then like 30 seconds into the song,
Dance! Dance, you little freak! Shoot! Shoot!
Up, down, choo, choo, choo.
Up, down, dance, dance, dance!
Up, down, choo, choo, choo.
Up, down, dance, dance!
Up, down,
oh holy shit, it gets fast. And that's just the thing with this game, sometimes it can just get so hard. The tempo will often get faster and faster as you get your groove on, and the list of commands can grow larger and more erratic, requiring you to have really good reaction times. And even then, sudden commands can come flying out of the blue and throw you off rhythm. You're bound to make mistakes until you replay the reports, which by then you can absolutely wipe the floor with your opponent. And the music helps. It's so infectious and cheesy, yet enjoyable and fun to bob your head to while playing and tapping your foot to the rhythm, which can help you stay in time with the beat. Upon winning the dance battle, the mysterious man retreats, the 2 rich hostages join Ulala's troupe, and everyone begins to dance to the jingle version of the main theme of the game.
Yay!
This happens at the end of every section and can either sound really funky and fun, or dissonant and terrible, depending on how well you did in that section.
Oh no! The space guide is taking it from the dance guide. Help me! Oh no! The space guide is taking it from the dance guide. Help me!
The troop begins to march towards the panicked masked man before he regains his composure and challenges Ulala to stop him and his army, abducting more hostages. This leads to the second gameplay style, shooting mode.
Let's shoot!
During these sections, enemies will jump out at the left, top, or right side of the screen, calling their position and then shouting, "Chew," which then the player must repeat. Unlike dancing mode, shooting mode tends to finish the commands on chew rather than any button. This section introduces the Hey command, which uses the circle button, or the D key on Steam, to use, where Ulala fires pink hearts at hostages that are also likely to pop up on scene alongside the enemies, freeing them from the mysterious group's control. The original game also had the player using the circle button to free hostages. However, the audio cue was still chew, which can easily mislead players into shooting the poor bastards. Changing this to Hey is a massive improvement, and it gives the player an extra dance move to use in dancing mode. The music used in this section is so good.
Chew, left, hey.
Right, chew, left, hey.
Left, chew, up, chew, right, chew.
Left, chew, up, chew, right, chew.
You got it, baby.
It's so funky, it's so action-packed, and despite how hectic it sounds, the gameplay is quite chill and simple, as it should be for the first report. Once we begin saving hostages with the Hey beam, they begin to join our channel's dance troupe and act as the backup/cheerleaders while our main girl is kicking ass.
I'm Tifa. This all started with those damn moves.
Once all the hostages have been saved, the mysterious man retreats once again, and we strut after him, finding the space guide of the ship has also been taken hostage by the mysterious group.
Help me!
No. No, I don't think I will.
Once again, challenges us to yet another dance battle, only this time we finally learn the names of these baddies.
We are known as the Rhythm Roll. Chew, chew, chew. You can't fool us, not anymore.
Chew, chew, chew.
The karaoke lyrics don't require any button input from the player, it's there just to make the game even more silly and fun to watch, and I guess a little immersion that this is all broadcasted on the TV.
Oh, hell!
The so-called Rhythm Rogues lose yet another battle, and as we strut to the end of the hallway, 3 robots ambush us in rhythm to the main theme's jingle, where we take them down in 3 shots.
You're on fire!
I love that this carried over from the first game, and I feel that it's a really effective way of getting the infectious main theme, the Mexican Flyer, into the player's head. After Ulala reveals to the world that she has minor Tourette syndrome, the troupe marches into the main control room of the Space Symphony, where we come face to monitor with the guy behind the whole attack. During the climax in each report, your view rating is converted into stars, which replace the hearts. Getting too many commands wrong and having a lower view rating will result in having few stars for the battle, whereas getting every single command right will give you the maximum amount of stars. Like the hearts, the stars also function as health for the battle, but unlike the hearts, the game ends if they're all depleted. The robots turn out to be rather easy in the dance section of this fight, and Ulala's troupe makes short work of the bots.
We've defeated the singing robots. What? They've sprung back into the groove.
Oops. Switching to our tension blasters, we move into phase 2 where we start shooting the mini robots King Kong can throw at us.
The party's just begun.
That's all for today, folks. I'm Ulala, reporting from the space station. Space Channel 5!
And, if you're perfect like I am, then we've just blazed through the first report with flying wait, why is it not 100%? Secrets? What? So this is a mechanic that I both love and have trouble with. There's secret command prompts hidden in every single report. Pressing the chew button during these certain sequences will make Marolians, the little aliens from the first game, jump up on the screen, and this isn't really explained in the game. You can learn about the different prompts via the character profiles menu, as certain characters will tell you when to press the button, but even then, I don't think telling when to press the button is a very helpful indication. They're mostly there for replay value, and you can watch other people on YouTube play through the reports and learn when the prompts appear, but sometimes even then the prompt to press it can be very difficult to determine. Placing the prompts during the jingles is absolutely fine, and if anything it only adds to the enjoyment the game has to offer, and it makes the songs that much more memorable. But the prompts during the silence are really annoying at times.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
And nope, you cannot button mash and hope to uncover them, the game does not reward laziness, nope. After the end of the first report, our TVs then tuned into Morrow Channel 5, a fairly recent channel that is hinted to be tribute to the space reporter who saved their race in the previous game. Aww. Even though she massacred most of them in that game.
Remember, no.
Elliot's.
Tomorrow news presenter details us on the Galaxy President Peace and his trip to the space park to attend the primary schoolers' band practice.
Any comment, Mr. President?
Why, yes. Of course.
Wow, or just ignore me and sing away. It's not like I've got any fucking kids to feed.
Have some musical twisted fucking ivy monster abducts you, you fat piece of shit.
Your precious space president has been captured by us, the Rhythm Rogues.
Ulala, Swing and Report Show special broadcast.
It looks like this episode is a special emergency broadcast in the wake of the president's kidnapping, cancelling the channel's rerun of a cooking show. Arriving fairly late to the scene, we once again encounter the ground leader of the Rhythm Rogues, Shadow, who's making his way towards a conveyor belt leading to the space park centre. After catching up to the conveyor belt, for some reason Ulala decides to manspread, before engaging in a very slow and smooth shooting battle.
Let's shoot!
Left. Shoot.
Left,
Right. Shoot.
It's not long though before the beat gets very intense.
This conveyor belt's out of control!
Don't fall off, Ulala. Left. Shoot. Right. Shoot. Up. Hey. Hey.
Left, eat, right, eat, up, hey, hey!
Right. Shoot. Left. Shoot. Up. Shoot. Hey.
Right, eat, left, eat, up, eat, hey!
There's no balance, what's controlling me? There's no balance, what's controlling me?
Hi, my name's Katrina. And my name is you. I'm Sarah. I'm Emma. And I'm Jonesy.
This song kicks ass. Jamming hard to the beat, we also managed to rescue some of the primary schoolers, or elementary as the Yanks say, who join our troop and use their band practice skills as backup. Besting Shadow in the shoot-off, our troop struts their way to the garden entrance, where more of the kids and their teacher are held hostage by the Rhythm Rogues.
Save them before they melt.
Well shit, this game's darker than I thought. Shadow once again challenges us to another dance battle. But we kick his latex ass and recruit the rest of the band in our troop. Dealing with the less robots in the entrance, Ulala makes her way into
Fountain Square!
a large open space garden that's completely obscured by this guy's arsehole.
Get your coverage from Channel 42! Good evening, everybody! It's me, Pudding! Not again! Come on!
Pulling out our dueling guitars, we face off against Pudding in the third gameplay style new to this game, instrument battles.
Let's jam!
Jesus Christ, is she okay? I'm not sure your bones are supposed to do that.
My only regret is that I have bonitis.
Instrument battles have the player use any directional button to use their instrument, despite being told to use the down key. Each direction has Ulala perform a different pose, which is not important in terms of progression, but it's a really wonderful gimmick for the player to mess around with. Unlike in the other modes, however, where messing up a command reduces the difficulty of that section, the difficulty of the section in instrument battles will not reduce, which is especially dangerous when pitted in instrument battles with stars rather than hearts. But hey, no fun without risk, right? Alongside the directional buttons, the chew and hey commands will still appear as if it was a dance-off, effectively reducing the amount of actions available from 6 to 3. That doesn't mean it's easy though, Jesus Christ no. I honestly think the instrument battles are perhaps the most difficult and the most fun aspect of this game, as Pudding has no problem demonstrating.
Choo, 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 hey! Choo, 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 hey! Choo, hey! Choo, hey! Hey! Choo, hey! Choo!
After a very long battle, we eventually win, and Pudding gracefully leaves.
I quit!
But before we can catch our breath, the killer plants from before appear once again, destroying the stage, revealing more kidnapped hostages. This time they've caught the workers at the space park, including Birdman and Space Bird Mistress. After rescuing everyone and performing a stylish strut with all the birds, or trying to get rid of them if you perform terribly,
Choo! 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 Choo!
the troop enters the greenhouse, where we finally reach the space president trapped by the giant plant.
What's that? It's our president! A monster plant has got him!
Did I forget to mention that this was a Japanese game? Despite being restrained by the plant, Ulala damages it enough that it releases her.
Oh my.
Our entourage fly into the scene, and the plant drops out of its protective shell to reveal what looks like its true mecha form.
Looks like a turd.
Or that, I guess. That's an observation too, I suppose. Shadow appears yet again, and commands the robot to face us in a
Waltz battle!
Like the name suggests, the timing of this section follows a 3x3 beat rather than the usual 4x4.
Down, down, down.
The rhythm starts off as an original waltz piece, before shifting into a remixed version of the Blue Danube Waltz by Johann Strauss.
Waltz time!
Oh, so sweet.
Choo, choo, hey, choo, choo.
Choo, choo, hey, choo, choo, hey, choo, choo, hey, choo, choo. Choo, choo, hey, choo, choo, hey, choo, choo, hey, choo, choo.
Ready for a waltz?
What fine dancing.
Down, down, choo, choo.
As the music gets faster and faster, both sides throw words at one another as the song reaches its conclusion.
Now take this.
Now take this.
Now take that.
And take this.
Now take this. Take that. And finally take this.
And take this. And take that. Finish you off.
After besting the Rhythm Rogues once more, we rescue President Peace, who unleashes his powerful voice to the viewers at home.
Thank you, Ulala.
Son of a bitch!
The Space President's voice is so powerful that it revived the innocent Pompiri that was hijacked by Shadow, and Ulala concludes her special report.
That wraps up my report. This has been Ulala reporting from the spaceport.
Space Channel 5!
No!
Well, shit. Tuning in tomorrow Channel 5 once again, the news report gets hijacked by the Rhythm Rogues leader, Purge.
I'll exchange the president and the hostages for 6.6 trillion space dollars. Meet me at point XX.
Jesus Christ, everything is space something in this universe. Space Channel 5, Space Symphony, Space Mitchell, Space Park, Space President, Space Dollars, Space Bar. Catching wind of the negotiation, all space channels immediately race to catch the scoop at the exchange coordinates XX.
The scoop is mine!
Bitch. Unfortunately, the space police make an appearance and attempt to drive off the press from their investigation. Of course, Ulala, being the persistent reporter, and her director Fuse, refusing to leave, leaves the police with no other option than to forcibly drive her away by firing a series of deadly missiles and lasers directly at the Channel 5 crew. I'm glad to say the law hasn't changed much in the future. After halting the police assault with Chews and Hayes, the Channel 5 crew come face to face with the head chief of police.
People call me Pine, Eastern Venus Space Police. If there's slime involved in a crime, we'll clean him up on the beat.
Pine and her backup officers, Sexy 1 and Sexy 2, challenge us to a drum battle. Accompanied by fellow colleague and Astrobeat pilot Noise, Ulala joins Pine on the ship and engages in one of the most hyped musical battles in the game. Noise is controlled with the directional buttons, whilst Ulala issues the Chews and Hayes. I actually really love the inclusion of a second character being controlled with one half of the controller, and I feel like the multiplayer could have benefited from this too, rather than both players controlling the same character. The rhythm starts off slow, gradually picking up speed the more you progress into the battle.
Perfect again!
As the music reaches its climax, things get more tense as the ship's platform even detaches, and the rhythm gets very fast. Pine and the girls gracefully back off, Ulala and Noise don't hesitate to gloat about it.
We need them hands down!
Understandably, Pine fires 3 final missiles, which we take down with ease.
Ready to fire!
Concluding the report, we receive a transmission from the Chief of Channel 5, Space Michelangelo, alerting that all Channel 5 should return to the main office as it's under attack by robots. Alarmed by the news, Ulala and crew make a hasty retreat to base, meaning that this whole report was just about fucking around with the law. Nice. Tuning in tomorrow Channel 5 once more, we learn that the other channel stations, 42, 1 and 88, have also suffered attacks from robots, and once again the channel gets hijacked by the Rhythm Rogues.
I need this space transmitter to complete my grand plan. Soon enough, none of you will have a thing to worry about.
Entering the Channel 5's airspace, the Astrobeat is immediately assaulted by robots, forcing Ulala to eject from the ship and rescue the rescue team, whilst pistol whipping bots along the way. Gathering the rescue team together, the troop begins to make their way to the centre of the Channel 5 base, shooting down robots who try and stop us. Before we reach the central control room, however, we are stopped by the station's cheerleaders, who are also under the Rhythm Rogues' control.
Let's shoot! Left shoot! Right shoot! Left shoot! Left shoot! Left, hey! Right, left, hey! Left, hey!
I'm sorry ladies, do you actually know your directions? The cheerleaders seem to say left for both sides, although they have no problem saying it properly when they throw charge commands.
Left shoot! Left shoot! Right shoot! Right shoot!
Yeah, weird. Rescuing the cheerleader squad and having a mini celebration. We sprint to the room before the shutters close, where Ulala performs the longest slide in the galaxy. Finally, in the main control room, we find that the Rhythm Rogues have captured Space Mary Jane Watson. Sure enough, Shadow and the group of buff bots appear on scene and challenge Ulala to yet another dance-off. Noise activates a series of reprogrammed Ulala security bots, a robot model that was once used against Ulala to become the ultimate reporter. After a series of manspreading and doing our best impression of a dinosaur, we once again defeat Shadow, only this time the battle seems to have damaged Shadow, revealing a brief yet familiar face under that ridiculous outfit. Shadow retreats, and Space Margarita joins our group.
Sweeter than sweet nothings.
Concluding the section with a 3-step dance, the group descends into the core of Space Channel 5, where we finally meet Purge face to face. I finally got it right this time, yes. Taking advantage of both the walls in the core and the President as a hostage inside the Peace Carrier robot, Purge engages the group in both a shootout and a dance-off. Using the Purge hovercraft, every direction Purge calls out leaves behind 2 of the core's walls glowing.
Right, down, left, shoot.
Right, down, left, shoot.
The commands he throws can be quite long to remember, but as long as you remember how the rhythm of the commands go, following the trail of circles to the hovercraft can be used as a substitute to remember them all.
Up, right, down, left, shoot.
Up, right, down, left, shoot.
The troop constantly switch between shooting Purge's hovercraft and outdancing the Peace Carrier. It doesn't take long for Purge to make things a little interesting.
Time for a game. If you shoot like normal, you'll hit the President.
Roger. When you hear left, go right.
Don't hit the President. Right, shoot.
Don't hit the President.
Oh my god, yes, I get it. Don't shoot the President. I fucking know.
Remember,
Ulala. Don't hit the President.
so we don't need to hurt him, right?
Yes. You sound like a broken MP3.
Ow!
Don't you remember what I told you?
No!
Using the President as a human shield, Ulala and co must input the opposite direction that Purge calls out before firing at him.
Right, choo. Left, choo, choo.
After a while, Purge begins to combine the hovercraft with the peace carrier, forming together to create the King Purge Mecha. Stealing the singing powers of the President, the mecha engages in an instrument battle. Space Mario backs up the group with his singing, while Ulala and the Evil bots cover the chews and haze.
It's gonna sing now. Show him your range.
Let's jam!
Yeah, apparently in this universe, shouting, dance, and bang equates to singing, somehow. As the battle wages, more of the Space Channel 5 staff appear and join the entourage in the fight against Purge. The battle grows more and more heated, dance energy floods the air, to a point where Ulala can issue chews and haze without the need to even call them. As the King Purge mecha grows weak, Fuse appears on scene, armed with an antenna to channel the dance energy of the group and fire it at Purge. Yeah, fuck the President. Never mind the reverse command section. Let's just kill two birds with one energy ball.
Ulala, the rest is up to you. The galaxy depends on your funky moves.
As Fuse falls to the depths after protecting Ulala, Purge makes off with the Space Channel 5's antenna, resulting in the collapse of the whole station. Space Martin orders all of the staff to evacuate, and Noise picks up a very distraught Ulala. During the escape, however, Noise realizes the power of the Astrobeat Jr. is low.
There's no power! Ulala! All that's left is dance and jiggy power!
Good old Jiggy power. Despite dealing with the tragedy of her director's recent death, Ulala springs back into song and dance in order to power the Astrobeat. You know, like those fucking sob stories in Insert Country's Got Talent before they perform some Taylor Swift song.
We couldn't afford to go to school. None of us can read. I've been bullied all my life. This leg isn't real. I've never even seen Titanic.
Oh God, how do you live with that?
I really hate that show. The pacing of the music in this section is very nice here. The song starts very slowly and quite gritty, to reflect what just happened, picking up the pace gradually as Ulala begins to gather the strength to dance one more time.
Down, down, down!
Down, down, down.
Down, down, down!
Down, down, down.
Down, down, down!
Down, down, down.
Down, down, up!
Down, down, up.
Her voice even begins to gain more vibrance as the speed picks up, though not nearly to the same amount of enthusiasm in previous reports. As soon as we hit top speed, however, the duo run into another problem. A very long, complicated problem. Breaking through the onslaught of robots, the pair make it out of the base just in time.
This is Pine. I need your help. Please respond.
No.
Responding to the SOS, Ulala and Space Medusa arrive at the Mystery Zone. Immediately after arriving, we find out that Pudding and Huruk have also responded to the SOS.
Good evening, everybody. We heard it through Pine's broadcast. Hee.
Leave.
And together we catch up with Pine.
The reading on Purge and the President points us in this direction.
Unfortunately, the group is spotted and run into a series of trap rooms which contain a series of robot silhouettes that make no clear vocal indication of what command they throw, relying on the player's sight and memory to progress. After defeating the silhouettes, the group falls through a trapdoor into a room surrounded by many robots.
It's robots! Loads and loads and loads of loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, loads and 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 loads of robots.
The group stick close and aim at different directions, with Ulala in the middle, Pudding on the right, Pine on the left, Purge at the bottom, and Space Marks and Spencers at the top. Pressing the direction called will have that character stationed at that spot aim their tension blasters on the enemy, with Chew signalling them to fire.
Left, fire, right, two. Left, fire, right, two.
After yet another heated battle, the band of reporters emerge victorious.
Stay tuned.
Upon exiting the traps and entering a strange blank room, the group is once again attacked by Shadow, only this time he has no intention of fleeing.
You won't be going any further.
Summoning an army of buff bots to form a band. Needless to say, the reporters were more than ready for this, and the two sides engage in a big battle of the bands. All of the instrument battles the player has fought in are echoed in this fight, controlling Pine on the drums, Pudding on the guitar, and Space Megalovania on the mic. Even Hurg helps out with some strange dance moves, while Ulala covers the Chews and Haze via a 360 keyboard. Like all the other tracks in the game, the music gets more intense the further you progress, but it also feels so satisfying seeing all the characters you duel against jamming alongside you to finally bring down Shadow. After the battle of the bands, the Rhythm Rogue's hold on the man behind the mask weakens, and Jaguar begins to come to his senses. Unfortunately, the poor guy is quickly repossessed by Purge.
You can't change back yet.
And summons a series of shape-shifting buff bots as part of a crazy game of...
Which one of us doesn't belong?
Luckily, our fellow reporters have some encouraging words of advice for this section. Thanks, girls. It was really helpful. Thanks. During this section, Ulala must shoot the imposters with the Chew beams, while shooting the real one with the Hay beam. It starts off incredibly easy, with the rhythm being slow and simple, the imposters are coloured pink instead of red, and the real Shadow shouts Chew differently to the imposters.
Chew, 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 chew.
But then, the beat gets faster, the imposters turn to red, and the real Shadow pronounces Chew just like the rest of them. However, the imposters can't seem to mimic the real one's poses, making it obvious who is who.
Chew, 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 chew.
Defeating the imposters, we finally put a stop to Shadow and save our old friend Jaguar,
Thank you.
Bitch!
who joins the other reporters on the transport pod to their final confrontation with Purge.
Purge is using the antennas installed to each of the space broadcasting stations to complete a fearsome ballistic groove gun. If we don't hurry, the whole Milky Way will be in danger.
Stay tuned.
We're gonna have fun together.
With all of the other space channels' antenna combined into the fearsome ballistic groove gun, Purge decides to test it out on all the captured civilians in the audience in the debut of his brand new show,
The Purge TV Show! All the whole galaxy dances for me. Yes, I'll make each one of you genius Purge.
Even as an incomplete charge, the weapon is powerful enough to force everyone in the crowd to dance, allowing the weapon to suck up the dance energy for another charge. Featured as the main event for the new show, our group of reporters arrive on scene, with Ulala sporting her original outfit from the first game. Neat. Although it must have been awkward getting changed in that thing with all the other people in there. Strutting down the stairs, the band of reporters begin their final confrontation with Purge.
There is just no stopping it now.
Left, 2, right, 2. I'll end this.
That's all you have to offer?
At first, I was questioning why they only had small lines during these singing sections, but then after playing through the report again, I realised that the ballistic groove gun is powered by song and dance, hence the characters refused to play along with Purge's song by being very blunt and straight to the point.
Everyone dance with me.
Right, left, 2.
Not gonna happen!
Right, left, 2.
After the prelude to what's yet to come, the crowd start to get wild, further charging the weapon. Well, at least Space Mixie Spitlick is having fun. Before we can reach Purge on stage, we machine gun our way through the last of the robots guarding him. Upon jumping up to the stage, however, an invisible wall prevents the other reporters to follow suit, leaving Ulala to face the school shooter-looking fucker by herself. I mean, what could he possibly do other than that weird hip thrust he's been doing all get?
Let's dance. Chew.
Holy shit, he's got the moves. The two start the battle off with a little shouting match.
Ulala. Chew.
Purge, 2.
Ulala. Hey, hey.
Purge, hey, hey.
Ulala. Hey, hey.
Purge, hey, hey.
Before engaging in one last dance battle, all while the ballistic groove gun continues to charge.
Down, up.
Down, up,
Up, down.
up, down,
Down, down.
down, down,
Down, down.
down, down.
Up.
Down, up,
Down. Up.
down, up.
As soon as we best him in the dance battle, however, Purge reveals his wild card.
President Peace.
No.
I'm gonna do a little dance.
The dance energy of the crowd and the President's power of song allow Purge to activate,
Dance Dimension X.
granting him tremendous power and transforming him into Purge the Great. Defending the giant by herself, Ulala seems like she's losing all hope, which is evident in her voice lines during the fight.
Right. Left.
Right, left,
Left. Right.
left, right.
The music in this section begins to grow more static and difficult to hear until it just becomes pure TV noise.
Left. Up. Right. Up. Left. Right. Chew.
Left, up, left, right, 2.
Down.
Down.
After putting up a good effort, Ulala is no match for Purge in the dance dimension, as he fires too many powerful shots for the poor reporter to dodge. Literally on the edge of limbo, we can hear a familiar voice calling out to Ulala to stand up.
Ulala, what are you doing?
Jesus Christ, look at her face! She can't even open her eyes!
Come on now, come on now, come on now.
Ulala stands up and tries to get back into the rhythm, responding to an unknown clapping audience. As she gets back into the groove, all of Ulala's friends and fans begin to cheer for her to rise and clap her back into the rhythm, which Ulala responds to.
Ulala.
Ho!
As the countdown for the groove gun almost reaches 0, Ulala turns the tables, and using the power of those who cheer for her, she achieves Super Saiyan form.
When have I ever lost? At dance
Super Ulala gains control of the Dance Dimension X and along with her friends, engages Purge the Great once again. That's a really appropriate reaction when I first played this. His energy balls are nothing to us now as we bitch slap them away. And eventually we deal enough damage to finally free President Peace.
We've rescued the president!
As the President gains power over Dance Dimension X, and with mic in hand, the whole galaxy aids Ulala in stopping Purge in one of the most hype instrument battles in this game. Every character you have encountered and saved in this game are present in this battle, and the main theme being used for the section is amazing. It definitely gives the feel that this is the climactic battle, and hearing the main theme in several sections of the previous reports makes this song so recognisable that you don't even have to worry about the difficulty of the battle. Another element of this battle that I really appreciate is when Purge and the robots throw the chew commands, pressing the chew button actually makes everyone sing, and 2 chews later even Purge begins to sing, which at that point it's muscle memory that you gotta keep hitting the chew button.
Come on, everybody, let's go!
Sing with us. Sing with us, all at once. Sing with us, heart to heart. What is heart? We have heart. What is love? Take it love.
With the destruction of Dance Dimension X, Purge combines with the Groove Gun and transforms into one deadly satellite cannon. But wait, there's one more friendly face that's late to the epic conclusion.
Fuse? Focus the power of the 86,429 fans into one funkified force!
Roger! Purge! Enough of your trash TV!
Strength without love won't change anything.
I'm gonna heal that sick mind of yours! You're the one who isn't happy!
Realising his plan to make the galaxy dance forever has been thwarted, Purge decides to get rid of everyone instead.
Dance yourselves to hell.
She said hell, that's not okay. With one final trial of choose, the laser blast from Purge's death satellite is rebounded by the galaxy's dance energy and rebounds back.
Purge's evil plan to dance the galaxy mad has come to an end. Now, happy days are indeed here again. I'm Ulala, broadcasting along with all my friends here. Space Channel 5!
Oh, it's so nice to see the other reporters take part in the Space Channel 5 outro, despite potentially harming the view ratings in their respective channels. Oops. Saving the galaxy once again, Ulala victoriously struts to the end of the galaxy, with her entourage dancing wildly and celebrating the happy days that have finally returned. Despite being a relatively old game series, I am so happy I came across this game. It's got so many fun things going for it that I don't really see much in modern gaming anymore. This game had so much going for it. It had a lot of camp, it had a lot of charm, it was pulling up loads of like 60s sounding funky spy music. It's great, and it just gets better and better. I've never really seen a game that's all about space reporters fighting one another to get the scoop. It's such an exciting concept, and I feel like this series should keep going in a way. They've expanded the world to such a great depth that even in the character profiles, every single NPC, including just random hostages, sound really interesting. And even on repeat playthroughs, you still have that same excitement, even knowing the music and getting back into the groove better than you did the first time playing it. It feels really satisfying coming back to it. I also wish they added more to this game, because like I said, the world building is so great that I feel like they could do even more with it. Playing as like different Space Channel reporters, like during Report 3, we could have played as Pudding out on the chase. Like, what did she discover? How did she get back and figure out that Channel 4 42 satellite was stolen, and hell, what happened to the underground space broadcasting system? We didn't really hear of them much in this game, when they were quite a threatening presence in the first title. Alongside the story mode, there's also another mode called the 100-stage dance battle. This game mode is basically like a gauntlet. You're only given one heart, and you have to respond to a series of 100 commands. Completing these commands in certain intervals will give the player certain costumes, which they can equip in story mode. And most of them aren't even costumes, they're basically just models of the characters, which is freaking amazing as an extra thing. It would have been amazing if they managed to put the voices with the costumes as well, to make it sound like the character that you're playing as. That would have added so much immersion, and the replay value would almost be endless. The 100-stage dance battle also has a secret. Selecting the Marolian costume in the 100-stage dance battle will have you perform a set of different dance moves facing different opponents. During this game mode, they also make some really strange changes as well, such as partway through they will change the Chew command to Toyota and the Hey command to Honda. There are also sections where they change those commands to woofs and meows, so you're basically watching a news reporter meowing, woofing, and advertising car brands to you.
Toyota, Honda, Toyota, Honda.
Toyota, Honda, Toyota, Honda.
This game is crazy, and that's why I love it.
This is my hat.